Hey guys, it's Coach Matt with Lifelong Recovery. In this video, I'm going to talk about how do I stay clean and sober. It's kind of like a game plan for sobriety. First and foremost thing I would say is don't wing it. And what I mean by that is don't just say, oh, I'm going to stay clean and sober today. I'm not going to drink today. I'm not going to use today. I will tell you that I spent probably, I don't know, years, like where I would wake up in the morning, I would say, "You're not going to drink today, I'm not going to use today." And I never came up with an actual plan. That's really the first thing, is to establish a plan. I will say, I worked in treatment for about 12, 13 years, addiction treatment, and a lot of great people came through there that you feel like really had the best intentions of staying clean and sober, but they underestimated the power of the disease. They didn't give it the respect and reverence that it deserves. This is a deadly disease. It kills a lot of people on a regular basis. So you don't want to just, the way I think of it is, a lot of people have a hard time thinking of addiction as a disease because they think, it's like a choice, and, well, I'm doing this to my body, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is it becomes a disease, and it's a disease of the brain. So it affects your thinking. And the way I like to think of it is, like, probably if you had some other life threatening illness, you probably wouldn't go it alone. You probably wouldn't just kind of wing it and be like, well, I'll be okay. Or, like, you would want to get professional help. To me, that's the first thing, is hopefully get professional help. Not everybody does it with professional help, but I would say the number one thing is identify if you need medical attention. So I will tell you, because of kind of like the denial of that occurs in addiction, it's very common. A lot of people don't think it's as bad as it is. And so, like, for instance, with me, when I finally kind of got serious about getting clean and sober, and got serious about, like, saying, "Oh, I need help to do this. I can't do this on my own." I tried to get into an IOP program. What that stands for is intensive outpatient. And what that basically means is it's kind of like group counseling for addiction, right? And so I went through the assessment, and as I was going through the assessment, it was probably the first time in my life that I had been truthful about how much I was drinking and using and what all substances I was taking. And the counselor that was doing the assessment was like, "You need to go into a medical detox. You can't just quit. It's dangerous." And that really hit me hard. It was hard to hear. I just kind of felt like, how did I let it get this bad? And so I would say the big thing with this is, like, you need to have courage. Don't bury your head in the sand any longer. You need to confront this shit head on. So, for me, I was really scared to face the reality of, like, oh, this is fucking real. I need to go into a hospital and medically detox because it's dangerous for me. You know, not all substances require detox, but, especially alcohol, benzos, opiates, there's danger in a lot of these, especially alcohol and benzos. So find through a qualified medical professional if you need to do a medical detox, first and foremost. The second thing I would say is set a date. So a lot of times, like I was saying, went through a period of time where probably almost every day I was thinking, I'm not going to drink or use today. And it just, the days just kept on rolling by, right? Something that can be helpful is coming up with a date that you're going to actually quit, and then the more that we have this plan, things in place to help us with quitting, the more kind of real it is, and it allows you to prepare, not only mentally, but also just coming up with that plan and coming up with things to do to help you stay clean and sober. The third thing I would say is identify your green, yellow, and red people. And what I mean by that is, your green people are the people that are completely safe. These are the people that are completely supportive of you quitting drinking and using. They will do anything to help you stop. They're going to be real with you. They'll hold you accountable. They just genuinely want the best for you. Yellow people are people that are, like, take caution with, right? It's like people that maybe you've drank and used with, especially drink, maybe not as much using, but they're not in addiction, and they will respect your decision to stop drinking or using. And then red people are just people that you need to completely cut out. Like, can't hang around them. They're not respectful of your choice, your decision to quit drinking or using, or they're in addiction themselves. So you probably are just going to have to completely cut them out. For the green people, the people that are completely safe, tell them what you're doing. You want to have accountability for this, right? One of the things when I got clean and sober, I told everyone, and I was scared to tell people because I was like, well, what if I fail, right? But I will tell you, there are so many times when I wanted to drink or use, but that thought of like, man, I fucking told all these people, now I'm gonna have to go and face them, knowing that I drank or used, that I didn't um, accomplish, what I was setting out to do. And don't get me wrong, when I say failure, guys, relapse is not necessarily a failure. It could be seen as a setback potentially, but just for the purpose of this conversation, when I was craving, there was a lot of times where that thought of like, I told these people I was going to quit drinking and using, and I want to hold up to my words. It helps you with that accountability. The other thing is, make a decision that you're doing what's best for you and don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. Do not, I'm telling you, don't waver on this. I struggled, I still struggle with people pleasing, but I really struggled with people pleasing in the past. And I was really kind of easily broken in my decision to quit drinking or using. I would let people like kind of talk me into it. And that's on me. But, really, you got to own that recovery. You got to not give a fuck what anybody else thinks. If they don't like your decision, if they don't like the way it affects them, which that happens all the time with friends and family members, the things that happens a lot of times when you quit drinking or using, people don't like it because it makes them kind of take a look in the mirror. And if they have struggles with their own substance abuse, then the very fact of you stopping can make it makes it difficult for them because they're like, well, shit, do I have a problem? And they don't want to look at it. So just make that decision and be fucking firm in it. You're doing what's best for you, no matter what, no matter what anybody else says. So I'm going to make a part 2 to this video. Thank you for watching. I hope it's helped some people. If you have comments, if you have questions, please hit down below, and I'll see you in the next video.